receiving some counseling. What's the latest with her too?
Well, that's true. She's been with us since yesterday, rightly put, going through some psychological counseling after she had visited the doctors with a medical form. We are trying very hard to make her understand the need for her to move on and go through the session. And then hopefully once the report is out from the hospital, we'll get to know exactly what we need to do for her medically after that. But for now, yes, he is with us going to some counseling sessions.
All right, just a quick one here. We know that 3 of the suspects who've been arrested, you said earlier that they were junior high school students, 2 of them, and 1 was in senior high school. This young lady we are talking about, is she also within that same range in terms of education? Is she also a junior high school student?
Well, I did mention yesterday that this is a victim who's gone through some serious trauma, who is going through serious trauma. And so for us now, the concentration is to make her a bit stable. When I say stable, to make her reason up with us so we could talk to her a bit later. So yes, we have her in our custody, but we haven't spoken to her yet. We will do that when we've realized or when we've seen that, okay, she's able to respond to our question.
So what are these young men who've been picked up, what are they being charged with?
They haven't been charged. I mentioned yesterday in my statement that these 3 young men or these 3 suspects or students have not been charged yet. Would wait for investigations to be over so we could prefer the appropriate charges against them.
Yeah, exactly why I'm asking, just to know if there's been any update today. But just a quick one. If you get onto social media, a lot of people are wondering, with this particular case, this young girl didn't make a complaint, did she?
She has made a complaint.
Okay, and did she make the complaint after the police took over the matter or before you went in to arrest these suspects?
Well, she has made a complaint. I think we'd have to leave it there. You do not want to alter investigations and the PMs, whatever is going to come out of it. So let's leave it there. She's not the only person who's made complaints. We have a unit committee member in that area, Bantama, who's also come up to make a complaint. And so let's work with this for now.
Okay, now let's talk about those who are circulating this video on social media. We've had time without number. The police talk about that being a crime and also send out some stern warnings. But really, we haven't seen any action in terms of arrests being made. So how is the police going to, go about this? We always hear you say, don't share the videos, don't circulate it. We're going to come after you. But really, we don't hear or see anything like that.
Well, it's unfortunate you haven't seen or heard anything like that. But even at that, it doesn't make it something that's not crime. It still remains criminal. And so we still go on to say that whoever circulates or is in possession of this video and still circulating it, it is justice from that act. We will make arrests when we get the opportunity to do that. But I think that it's an attitudinal thing that we all need to come together. If you know it's a crime and you need to stop it, come on. If it was your sister or if it was yourself, would you have allowed it to go viral like it is going now, apart from it being criminal? So it's something that we all need to come together and do understand that, look, whatever it is that we are doing, if it is done on you first, you would not appreciate. So let's just stop it, apart from it being criminal. But like I said, yes, the warning has gone out there several times. The fact that we probably haven't arrested anybody doesn't mean that whatever is going on is not criminal. It's just against the crimes in the country. So it is something that we should stop.
Well, finally, before you go, some time ago, we had a very prominent figure in this country. Her son was said to have been involved in a sex video. What we saw was that the police, or we don't know who did it, but the video was blocked at source, so it was very difficult for anybody to share it, even if you had it. Is the police considering doing that with this particular video?
Yes.
Okay, so we expect that even if people have it, they shouldn't be able to share it.
That's the expectation.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Hopefully, we'll get back to you in the day for some updates on this rather unfortunate incident that occurred in Bantama. And we were just speaking to ASP Juliana Obeng, and she is the PRO for the Ashanti Regional Police Command. We'll be bringing you more on this, especially visiting the community where this happened. And maybe get your views on social media on this. we've been seeing this time without number, especially this year. Is it time we had a conversation around this and protecting people who are publicly shamed in videos like this? We'll take a quick breather. When I come back, we'll be having more. Please stay.
I am Katie G, CEO of Adiade. Welcome to Adiade headquarters, where we make all the organic snacks that you love. The whole concept behind Adiade is that we're getting older. We're not getting younger. So how can we eat sweets, enjoy sweets, and stay healthy? That's where Adiade comes in. So get ready. I'm going to take you through the process and tell you how you can get Adiade for yourself.
The Joy Business Van. On TV, radio, online, and on the ground. It's powered by Joy Business and supported by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thanks for staying on the AM show with me, Benis Abubedu. Shortly, I must mention that we'll be taking you to Parliament. Roland Walker is standing by. He'll be having a conversation with Neelante Vanderpoel, MP for Ododo Diodio, on, the year in review, basically talking about governance and some personal issues as well. But let's stay on this issue, this video that's gone viral of a young girl being held down on the mattress. About 4 young boys taking turns to sexually assault her. We just spoke to the police. They tell us they're still on a manhunt for 4 others after picking up 3 suspects. But now let's get the legal perspective of this and speak to Martin Pibu. He's a lawyer, and hopefully we can answer some legal questions lingering on our minds. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Benny.
Great to have you. So I just got off the phone. I was speaking to the PRO of the Ashanti Regional Police Command, Julian Obing, and she was talking about the fact that sharing this video is a crime. But my question was, we've had this time without number. We haven't seen anybody take action against somebody who shared a video like this. What do you think we can do as a country to let people really understand that, look, you can't do this and get away with it?
Okay. Basically, I think we should publicize those persons or the cases in which some people have been convicted for sharing such videos. Off the top of my head, I can remember at least 3 cases. So there are some cases that we can go back into the archives and bring back. Then maybe you can talk about them from time to time. So in essence, I'm saying that there have been some prosecutions, but it doesn't appear that those cases attracted much or got much traction after the conviction. So that's the best way to go look for those cases. Maybe we can help. We can make inquiries and get copies of those judgments. Then maybe we can have a program of that. And from time to time, you may repeat. And also you can invite other persons on this subject. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully we would have a program on it, like you're saying. But let's talk about these young men involved. We hear from the police that at least the 3 who've been picked up in the junior high school. We don't know their ages yet, but let's just say they are minors, they are below 18. How would this case be treated in the legal perspective?
Okay, so once they are below 18, the law is very soft on them because, children generally are more prone to indiscretion. You say, yes, that's the way the law is passed, knowing that, we've all been children before. So sometimes you would see that when you look back, there were things that you said as a child that today you wouldn't dare do. So for those who are below 18, under the law, if they are convicted, the maximum sentence will be 3 years. But if a person is to maximum, so meaning anything from 1 day in custody up to 3 years, not more. It can't be more than 3 years in detention. Then, for those who are past 18, for rape, the minimum sentence, minimum that the person would get is 5 years, and the maximum is 25. So, yes, a judge can give 4 years if a convict is about 15 years. The minimum will be 5 years, and the maximum 25. But in practice, the Supreme Court has given some guidelines that when people are very young like this, it is not good to keep them away, in this case, for 25 years. No, you would have to come to the lower end of the scale so that they can come out and then contribute to society. And also the fact that when he comes out, the stigma, people seeing him around, it will serve as a warning to like-minded persons. So generally, you don't want to break 25 for a very young person.
But lawyer, we've had cases where minors were tried as adults, depending on the seriousness of the case involved. I don't know if you've seen this video or you've heard a description of what happened in that video. But do you think this is a case that could take that angle of minors being treated or being tried as adults based on the seriousness of the case?
In our law, what we do is that the way minors being tried as adults, it has a very restricted meaning. That is when, so being tried, he's tried with an adult. If a minor is found to have committed a crime or alleged to have committed a crime with an adult, then they are tried together. So let's say in this, let's use a hypothetical example so that this video, it doesn't look like we are prejudging anything.
Sure.
So let's say 16 years old, and then he goes with Yao, who is 19, and then they allegedly raped Amina. Okay? So because Yao is 19, and Kwesi is 16, below 18, Kwesi should have been taken to the juvenile court. And then that place, there is a lot of, what do you call it, security about it. The trial is done in camera so that we protect the juvenile. But when Kwesi is involved in a crime with Yao, who is 19, as an adult, the case may go to the circuit court. But in the circuit court, even that place now, we've developed protocols so that because Kwesi is 16, the trial will still be done in camera, so that we need to see the fact that Yao is 19 doesn't mean, adulthood is a stage from 18 up to the time you die. So you see that when the person is 19, he still has a lot of childish tendencies in him. So it's good that our law has progressed. So even for the 19-year-old, when we go to court, they don't try it openly for people to come and see and make laugh at it. No, it's still done in chambers because we still need to protect them. These are young persons. We know what happens generally. Let's say the alleged rape somebody. The use of force is bad, it's against our laws and the rest. But you have to be careful that in the process of solving, you don't create more problems and make them hardened criminals. So that is the concept.
All right. So I chanced on a Facebook comment, and I'm sure that sentiment will be shared by a lot of other people in the country and on Facebook. Earlier this month or late last month, I can't really remember, we saw a video of a young girl who was being beaten up by a group of girls. And now we saw this video of this young girl who's allegedly being gang raped by a group of boys. Now, for this person on Facebook, it's as though the police service is picking and choosing what to try without a complaint. Initially, with this gang rape case, we heard that the police saw the video and decided to act. Now we are hearing that the victim has filed a complaint. ASP Julian Obin won't tell us in which order these two occurred. But for this person on social media, it looks as though as a country we are picking and choosing what to do. We see a video with someone being beaten up and we don't do anything about it. And we see this one with someone being allegedly gang raped and we want to do something about it. How do you think we can address some of these issues in entirety so that it doesn't look like we are picking and choosing?
So the first thing is to then contact the police. So let's say that one of you or any of us listeners and viewers, you see, active citizens, any person who has seen that video on Facebook can walk into the police station and make a report. That's the law. It doesn't, you don't have to be a relation of the person being assaulted. Any person, once you say something that in your estimation, you think that it's a crime, you can walk into any police station and lodge a complaint. Okay, then based upon it, they'll pull down or get a copy of the video and then begin to investigate. But to make the case move forward, obviously you should be able to help the police. You know, they are very constrained. You know, Ghana police, they are not that well resourced, and especially when it comes to internet and all those things. So the main thing is that they have to help the police to identify the victims and the alleged perpetrators. Then the case can move forward. If you ask me, on the face of it, it would appear that this alleged gang rape, the reason it's been able to move forward quickly is the fact that the alleged victim and the alleged juvenile were easily found. But the Facebook one, it doesn't appear to me that people have stepped forward to say that, oh, we know this person, he lived here or he lived there, that's the alleged perpetrator. So what we can do is to, first of all, have a member of the public step forward, go to any police station, lodge that complaint. The police must take that statement, and then the investigations begin. It's as simple as that. I mean, commencing it. But the difficulty comes with identifying those persons in the video. But I think one day at a time, maybe if announcements are made on radio and TV, perhaps people who know them can step forward to volunteer information. But when the statement is not made, it doesn't look like a police act.
And so are you saying that there's no way the police can go ahead to take up a case without a complaint from any member of the public? The police on their own can say, well, we've seen this video. I want to assume that some of these policemen, of course, they do have smartphones. They may have seen the video. Do they have to wait for anybody to file a complaint? Is that how it works?
No. Sometimes the police themselves act as complainants. When they themselves feel very, when it's so repulsive for them, okay, if they find the act as very despicable, okay, un-Ghanaian, anything, once the alleged act, there's something in the policeman who sees it, the policeman can lodge a complaint. But you see, what is happening is that because the cases are many, and also the truth is that we have different categories of offenses. You see, when you beat somebody, that's assault. Okay, so assault generally is a misdemeanor. The maximum sentence is 3 years. But in practice, we don't usually even jail people. Okay, but the alleged rape, as I mentioned, it's a first-degree felony. Okay, so that one, as I've mentioned, the minimum that an adult, somebody above 18, would get is 5 years. You see, so, and then going up to 25. But for the assault on the internet, the Facebook extent, the maximum is 3 years. So you see that the law has categorized rape as a far more serious offense than assault. So you see how it can affect the psyche of the police too.
Sure. Yeah. So it looks like because we are constrained, we have to choose in terms of weight which one is stronger than the other. That's what looks to be the case. But thank you very much for your time, Martin Kpebu. He's a private lawyer, and he's been giving us some insight into the legal perspectives on this particular video that's gone viral of a girl being allegedly gang raped. He's told us, if you have that video, please don't share it because it's a crime, and also, you know, just help us understand for these young boys. We don't know their ages yet, but if they are below 18, what the law says about that, and if they're above 18, what the law also says. Hopefully we'll get you to Bantaman, Kumasi, where this young girl or this incident is believed to have happened, and let you know what's happening, what people there also think about this particular unfortunate incident. We would also be taking you live to Parliament. Roland Walker standing by with Neil and Evander Paul. Please don't go anywhere because we'll be back with more.